Well, when it comes to doing anything in life, our next guest can definitely check off a lot of boxes. He is a wrestler, a metal rocker, and now accomplished author. Please help me welcome Mr. Chris Jericho, author of The Best in the World. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, so I have so many questions for you, but the biggest one I have is, how do you continue to reinvent yourself? I want to talk about the book, but I need to know how you continue to do this, because I think people can really learn a lesson from this.
Well, I mean, when you're asking me how I reinvent myself, you are talking about the book, because that's what I write about. You know, I never considered myself to be a wrestler. I've considered myself to be an entertainer, and anybody that knows me knows that to be true. The fact that when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler and I wanted to be in a rock and roll band. Those were my goals, and I never saw a difference. I never saw the reason why I couldn't do both of those things, and kind of focused my whole professional career on making that happen. And as a result, all of these ancillary things come in: writing books, doing podcasts, acting, all these different things. So I just work on the Chris Jericho brand rather than worrying about what boxes that people want to put me in, because I don't do that. And if I don't do that, then it gives me much more opportunities in my life.
Did you ever find yourself in situations where you were kind of knocked off course a little bit? I mean, it sounds like you're very, very goal-oriented and very ambitious, but certainly you had some times where you kind of lost your way a little.
A little bit. I mean, maybe more personally, but never really career-wise. I mean, I'm pretty meticulous and very strict about the projects that I choose. And you might think, well, Jericho does everything. And it's not really the case. I do probably 40% of the things that I'm asked to do. And, you know, even something like Dancing with the Stars, it took me 3 or 4 times of them asking me before I finally decided, okay, I'm ready to do this, and I can do this at 1,000% of my abilities. Because if you don't have 1,000% to put into something, especially in show business, especially in entertainment, don't do it, because it's not going to work. So I think, if anything, I just have to be very focused on what I'm doing. And sometimes, you know, focused also means a lot of confidence, which also means sometimes you get in trouble because you speak out too much for yourself. But you have to do that. But just sometimes, especially in the WWE world, when you're believing in yourself, you might come across as a problem, which I definitely have been accused of being from time to time.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that, and I love that you laugh about it, because is that kind of what gets you through some of the criticisms?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm laughing about it because I know, you know, everybody needs to have that drive to really go the extra mile. And you got to have a little bit of a chip in your shoulder because you believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. But that means you have to do that 1,000%. Believe in yourself no matter what. Even if someone who's your hierarchy, that the boss is telling you that you should do things this way, but I'm telling you this is the right way. Well, I'm your boss. Well, I'm the guy who has to do it. And that kind of causes friction sometimes, but always in a good way. I think that's one of the reasons why I've succeeded in a lot of the things that I've done, because I don't have a problem questioning things if I believe what I'm feeling is right. And, you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, especially in my world.
Yeah, and it definitely is a time to grow, too, through every experience. Okay, this book, The Best in the World, is a follow-up to Undisputed. So what can folks get from this book, aside from what you've already mentioned?
Well, I mean, this is my 3rd book, and it's kind of the 3rd in a trilogy. It's the Return of the Jedi, if you will, in that it's a continuation of my story. It picks up where the last book left off in 2007 and ends in 2013. If you've read my first 2 books, you'll know what you to expect. A lot of funny stories, a lot of insight into me, a lot of soul-searching, and a lot of not taking myself too seriously. I know that I can be the butt of every joke, and I'll never get mad at myself, and I'll never sue myself. So I'm always the easiest target in all of my books, and I think that comes across better that way. A lot of times if you read an autobiography and somebody is the greatest thing ever on every single page, it gets a little bit of like, oh, come on, enough already. We know you're great. Tell us a couple times when you weren't great.
Right.
And I'm the other side of the coin. I don't have any problems telling you this was good, but I also have no problem saying, but that was really bad. So it all comes across as just, I think it makes me more personal throughout the book.
Yeah.
It makes it for a better read.
And I think that aside from being, just an entertaining read, hopefully people are going to take something from your story that maybe inspires them and teaches them how to be resilient, how to be ambitious.
Absolutely.
And how to get what they want.
Absolutely. I've always had that. If you really want to do something, you got to believe in yourself. And if you do, you can make it happen.
Okay, Chris. Well, we hear that you're going to be in Dallas on October 21st at Barnes & Noble. So we'll be very looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Dallas, and I'll be there signing all the books and anything else that you bring. Babies, vases. I'll sign vases. Whatever you got. Come on down, and I'll sign it. Forehead, whatever, right. Body parts. Whatever you want.
I'm going to stop you there, Chris. I'm going to stop you right there. Hey, thanks so much.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Thanks for visiting with us this morning. Yeah. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Chris. All right, you can buy Chris's book. It is called The Best in the World, his third one, wherever you buy your favorite reads. And you can meet him, like we said, on Tuesday, October 21st, here in Dallas at 7 o'clock at the Barnes & Noble on Northwest Highway. And we are back with more broadcasts right after this.